Well, glad you're with us, everybody. You're watching In Focus. And joining us now is Helen Henderson, who is the Ocean Program Manager for the American Littoral Society. And we also have Dr. Elizabeth Lacey with the Marine Ecosystem Research Laboratory from Stockton University. Welcome to both of you. So glad you're here.
Thank you.
This is such an important topic. We just saw last segment how school children are making such a big difference, even, changing policy. But there's something I think that everybody can do. I want to start with you, Helen, to talk about what your organization is focusing on and some of the things that you have there. Tell us what your key things are.
Sure. So we work a lot with local governments as well as all the way up to policy makers at the federal level. And primarily for plastic initiatives, we're looking at intentional balloon releases and asking local communities to ban them. And, they are one of the worst forms of soft plastic on marine life and turtles and seabirds. So, we're definitely trying to make an effort to reduce that type of pollution.
All right, jump in here, Elizabeth. Tell us what you're finding, and of course, a lot of research done. You're right in kind of the center of it all with Stockton's location. You're right there.
Right there, absolutely. So as a marine biologist, I'm there no matter what because that's my passion. But we see it with the students as well. They're really very well aware of the plastic problem and wanting to find ways to contribute in reducing it. And so seeing that via research trips, so just got back from teaching a class in Florida where we did some cleanups and saw the preponderance of single-use plastics. So we always teach them it starts with refusing it, so just not taking up the plastic to begin with.
And this is something actually we got from you, Helen. Tell us what we're seeing there.
Sure. So recently I did a beach cleanup with the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection. They are cataloging the amount of balloons that are found on those cleanups in a specific area of beach, and that's happening throughout the Mid-Atlantic region as part of the Mid-Atlantic Regional Council on the Ocean. It is 5 states coming together with shared priorities, and one of those priorities is marine debris and balloon pollution. We have, every beach cleanup that is statistically reported and cataloged has shown an uptick and the amount of ribbons and balloons that they're finding in these cleanups.
What is how do you measure this? So how much does that mean in terms of debris? What would that be equivalent to, or how could we imagine that in our minds?
Well, I think you have to think about it or I would suggest that we think about it from the perspective of a marine creature. So they will see something floating in the ocean. It will look and appear to them like food, and so to that individual animal, all it takes is one.
Right. And the volume that you're finding in the ocean. So you said there's an uptick. So is that tons? Is that thousands of pounds of debris?
For balloons, it's pieces. Okay. So pieces that are cataloged, whether they are the latex balloons, some of them have ribbons attached, some of them are mylar balloons, so it's individual pieces of balloons.
And each one obviously has is a real problem, whether it's one piece or you're saying, and there's so much out there. I wanted to ask you, Elizabeth, what's the best way to tackle this problem? And as you're working with students and you all are out there in the field, what do you think is the best way to handle this now? Awareness is, of course, key here.
It is, and I think the marine science students at Stockton have that opportunity from their first semester. They come out on the boats with us in their Intro to Marine Bio class, and they see it firsthand. So inspiring students to then do something action-wise. So a lot of them participate in beach cleanups, and so we know that we can clear the plastic off the beaches. And my challenge to them is always to do this plastic-free July as starting point and just refuse it. So bring, your reusable water bottle. Don't contribute to the problem, because we do see it in the stomachs of sea turtles, we see it in birds, and it's a really unfortunate thing that we ourselves have caused, but the solution is actually quite simple: just refuse it.
And you're saying there's all kinds of alternatives here. So right before we go, we would certainly want to make sure you give us some ideas of some of the really easy things and effective things that we can do, Helen.
Yeah, so Elizabeth mentioned Plastic Free July, and that's happening right now. You can participate as much or as little as you'd like. So I thought it'd be helpful for me to bring along some everyday items that people
Show us what you got.
Sure. So these are reusable metal straws. Just remember, as Elizabeth said, to refuse. So you can refuse a straw at a place of business, but you can also bring your own and use a metal. You can purchase paper straws, thinking about the 4th of July holiday and, the
Great
rest
idea.
of the summer ahead of us. Choose paper if you can't have your metal. Beeswrap is a great way to wrap up produce instead of using
And this one I love. I
plastic
just want to
wrap.
get to the net before you
Sure.
go. There's some wooden forks and spoons, toothbrushes
Yes.
even, love
Yep.
that.
Yes.
But I want to just show the shopping bag.
Yeah.
That's made
So-
out of the right types of stuff, you're saying.
Yes, we hear a lot about reusable bags that you bring and collect your groceries in. This is a reusable produce bag. So
Great idea.
even the thin film plastic that you
It
are
says
putting
Earth
your
Day
produce in.
every
Yeah.
day.
Yeah,
Absolutely love it.
absolutely.
Let's get to your website too, so folks can contact you as well. Tell us what that is.
Littoralsociety.org, Littoral, society.org.
All right, we absolutely love that. Thank you for being
Thank
with us,
you.
both Helen and Elizabeth, and way to go to the students in Stockton for doing such a great job with this.
Thank you. Yes, we have an upcoming event that they're going to speak a lot about their experiences with that.
All
So
right,
come to
and
Coast
you know
Day.
they're going to be successful with that. Thank you.
Great.
Plastic-free July.